Alright, let's mess with some blue ink. I'm just going to be comparing blues. And we're going to start with Kon-peki. Adjust that camera. This is a professional operation. Look at how vibrant that is. It's a very pretty color. Oh, what are you doing off camera? I'm just dipping this dip pen to clean it. Alright, let's take a look next at Hocoro. I actually like this one a lot more than the Kon-peki, but I really love the vibrance of the Kon-peki. You see how much darker that is on the Q-tip? Is this technically a blue? I don't know. I don't care. I'm calling it a blue. So today it's blue. I am not picking these in any particular order. I am just grabbing a blue bottle, seeing what random chance provides us. Look at the shading on that. Such pretty inks. This is a new one for me. Hongdian Peacock Blue. I just like the shape of the bottle. I think when it's on the page, this is a pretty ink. Let's take a look together. Dark like the Hocoro. Let's see what it does on the page. Well, isn't that just lovely? I have other Hongdian inks. I like their blackish green quite a lot. I have an old jam jar. Oh wait, this is actually an old mustard jar filled with water that I'm using to clean my dip pen. The pen that I'm using today is a Sailor Hocoro with a feud nib. And depending on how you hold it, you get all different kinds of fun line width and variation. And the little heart means it loves being used this way. Next up is Diamine Celadon Cat. Isn't Celadon City a place in one of the Pokemon games? Cerulean City was in, I think, the original games. Now this should be interesting. See how light that is? This is maybe more of a gray. Depending on the paper, it might have some blue tones to it. I think this is a wonderful ink for mixing. I've used it fairly extensively for that. And next is another Diamine ink, Aurora Borealis, like the Neil Young song, or the atmospheric effect that you observe in nature in northern latitudes. The aurora in the southern hemisphere is the Aurora Australis. Another one that's dark on the Q-tip. Alright, that's clean. And now this next one is from a company that's been making ink for hundreds of years. Jacques Herbin, Bleu de Profondeurs. I don't speak French. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It translates loosely to something like blue of the depths, with the context being ocean depths. This is a beautiful ink. And from what I understand, I have not used this in mixing, but it is not the type of ink you want to mix with, at least from what I have heard. I don't know how true that is. I only have a small amount. I don't remember where I got it, so I will be using it. Oh, this is more of a purple, isn't it? at least on this paper. And for context, this is garbage paper. I bought this notebook 2 for $1 on sale. Well, why don't you use nice paper? Well, because this cost 2 for $1 on sale. We're not that fancy here. Oh no, this isn't going to fit underneath the splotch. I'm going to cap this. I'm going to blot that. My poor pad survived years of use, believe it or not. And now is completely stained in places by ink. Well, let's hold this more appropriately. That's what's fun about this pen. So much you can do with line variation on this. I know I'm spending a little more time with this one than the other inks. Like I said, I only have a very small supply of this. Alright, so that's some blue ink. Got a steel nib, viewed. That nice thick horizontal line. Or if you write at more of an angle, you might get something like that. Yep. That's it. Out of ink. That's all you get. In my little dip pen. Oh. Let's take a closer look at some of these. At all of these. Alright, let's take a closer look here. See how much darker the Celadon Cat dried? I'm not sure which I think is the more interesting ink out of these, the Tsukio or the Aurora Borealis. You see the shadings in both? Where is it? Tsukio, Aurora Borealis. In real life, this is a hair darker, which is interesting. Can I get closer? Yes, but not with that focus. Alright. Yeah, this I like quite a bit. It shows up a bit darker on camera, not much, just a little bit darker. But when it dries really legibly. I feel like I struggle to really appreciate the Celadon cat as I'm dropping it on the page. But once it's dried, it's just obviously a very pretty color with some nice shading. The Hongyan Peacock Blue is a little darker on this paper than it is on other paper that I have. The shading is nice. It's not the most exciting ink. I think the most exciting ink out of these 5 is the Tsukio, but I do have an appreciation for that Hongyan Peacock Blue. They have some fun colors, and you can get like a, what is this, a 50 milliliter bottle, 60 milliliter bottle on sale, usually around $10, $11. Anyway, that's it. Stay in school. And we fix the camera. Whoa. Alright. Do.